What's going on, guys? I am Jacob Cabazzuto with Cab Training, and today I'm going to tell you guys how I got into shape for football. Guys, it's very, very important because if you want to play the game of football at a very high level, you have to be in shape to play the game of football. Some of the best football players in history played both ways on their high school team, and that just came from them being in some incredible shape and being very good at what they did. And it started with being in good shape. So what I'm going to tell you guys about is kind of my journey on how I got into shape, because sometimes it's going to be a little bit different for each and every one of you guys. Some of you will find easier, funner ways to get into shape than anybody else. So I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about my journey, which happened from basically around 7th grade to about 9th grade, which really fueled my athletic career and got me into the shape mentally and physically to make me the athlete that I am today. So prior to 7th grade, I never really played a football season before. I never played on an organized football team. So 7th grade, I played on my junior high school's 9-on-9 flag team, and that was my first taste of organized football. And I considered myself pretty chunky back then. I wasn't fast at all as compared to a lot of the other players out there, and I wasn't really super athletic. I knew I was pretty strong. I've never lifted a weight before, because you probably shouldn't lift heavy weights prior to 12 years old or 13 years old. But I knew I was strong, but I knew I was not fast because I'd never done football before. I was always a baseball guy before 7th grade. After that season came around, and yes, I made the team for that for 7th grade flag football, and tried out for basketball, tried out for baseball. Both didn't make it because I just didn't think I was the athlete with the hand-eye coordination and the motor that was necessary to be an athlete of multiple sports at that point. So between 7th grade and 8th grade, I made it my mission to get better at running and get stronger and get more fit. So I think it was a combination of puberty and this shift in my mind that said, okay, look, you got to start running on your toes. Because when I was in 7th grade, I was a lot more heavy on my feet, I think. And then I remember distinctly in 8th grade how the coaches would tell me that I was running super on my toes. So I guess I was exaggerating my running form back in 8th grade. But I was visibly faster, visibly thinner, and visibly more athletic between 7th and 8th grade. How did I do that? Well, I used to jump into the pool and catch the football all the time. My dad would throw me the football into the pool and I would catch it. And every time I would drop it, I would do 25 push-ups. So I did a bunch of push-ups, a bunch of sit-ups between 7th and 8th grade. And then I think puberty did its magic on me, and I kind of got a little bit thinner and more explosive and all that sort of stuff. The meat and potatoes of my athletic transformation came between 8th and 9th grade. So 8th grade, we really started introducing lifting weights into our training regimen at my junior high school. And some of the kids really noticed how I was able to bench over 150 pounds in 8th grade. And that really was like, okay, wow, I'm strong. I have this head start. It must have been all those push-ups I was doing. So trust me when I say this, body weight exercises are going to get you better at lifting heavy weights. So I did squats, lunges, push-ups, all with no weight. If it was late at night, 10:30, and I couldn't sleep, I went and did 50 squats and 50 lunges. And I got my legs so much stronger, and I got my chest so much stronger from banging out tons and tons of push-ups, where it got me to a point where I was, in my freshman year, I was squatting over 275, I was benching 225, and that really showed all that body weight work that I did prior to high school. It really paid off. So I highly recommend, if you're trying to get in shape for football and you're not old enough to lift yet, I would definitely recommend that you do a ton of body weight exercises. And not only doing the body weight exercises, but doing them right. If you do thousands of squats and you're leaning forward on your toes every time you squat and only going halfway down, that is not going to help you, and that's going to create habits that are not fixable when you're in high school. If you're doing push-ups and you're only going halfway down, that is not giving you the full benefit of the push-up. The first big thing I'm gonna tell you to get in shape for football is doing body weight exercises, and a lot of them. If you guys wanna watch some kind of inspirational content to get you in the mood to train, I would highly recommend watching Herschel Walker's SEC biography and Bo Jackson's biography, because both of them described how they used body weight exercises to maximize their performance and set the solid foundation for their strength and athleticism in their sports career. The next big thing that got me really in shape for football was running, okay? I did a ton of running. Now, I did not know as much about the science when it came to training for explosiveness and such. For the summer between my 8th and 9th grade school years, my mom and I would go and run up a hill in my neighborhood 30 to 50 times every single morning. And that, first of all, made her lose over 30 pounds, and it trimmed the fat off of me, and it made me an extremely conditioned and strong-legged athlete. We wore a path into that grass up that hill because we took pride in every morning at 6 o'clock in the summer running up and down, up and down, up and down. It was a very transformative experience because I needed to get in shape. I was heading into my second ever tackle football season, and it was really the beginning of my thirst for knowledge, for getting better at football. I was that kid who was looking up running back cone drills on YouTube, and now I'm the guy creating those videos for YouTube as well. So as an athlete, young or old, you have to have a baseline of cardio in your game, because if you can't run for an extended period of time, if you can't use your legs as power over a 30 to 60 minute time frame at least, you're not going to be able to get the most out of yourself when it gets to the third or fourth quarter of a game. Really, the theme of this, and the third thing that I'm going to tell you that got me into shape for football, is consistency. I was consistent with my body weight exercises, and which turned into my overall strength training that carries into today. It's consistency all the way down the line. Ever since I started lifting weights for sports in 9th grade, I have never stopped since 9th grade. It's been 8 years since, and I continue to lift and I continue to train, so my body is ready for some kind of sport no matter what. So that training consistency is where you need to create a habit where you're consistently working towards being your best. That will make you in shape for football from a strength standpoint. When it comes to short-term consistency, that summer with my mom running up those hills, we never deviated. Weekend, weekdays, we did hill running every single morning. And that consistency made her lose 30 pounds. And that consistency made me a faster and more explosive and more conditioned athlete. If you go out and think that you can run cone drills once a week or twice a month, you're not gonna get anywhere. If you only go to the gym once or twice a week and expect to be a very elite athlete, I'm sorry, but that's not the consistency you're looking for. You need to be very consistent to almost an obsession in order to be successful at your sport. And this is, yes, this is a football video and how to get in shape for football, but this goes for everything. If you are trying to be good at baseball, be good at basketball, if you're trying to be the best plumber in the world, then you gotta be very consistent in how much plumbing you do. You better plumb every single day so you can be a good plumber. And I don't know anything about plumbing, but I'm just giving a good example. Just in summary, how to get in shape for football, we have to strength train, run, and be consistent about all of those. Prior to 13 years old, your strength training comprises of body weight exercises, lunges, squats, sit-ups, push-ups. Set the foundation now so you guys are ready for high school. 13 and up, 14 and up probably, we're looking at free weight workouts in a safe and appropriate manner. with a spotter, consistent, 5, maybe 6 days a week. Running, I would run every day. Now, if you're young, like I was when I was running hills with my mom, I would run as hard as you can every single day. Create the habit. You're gonna go 100% every single time. Now, if you're an athlete that's 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, I would say, okay, run sprints 3 or 4 days a week, every other day. And then the other 3 days, do some kind of steady state cardio for 15, 20 minutes just to recover and recuperate those muscles so you're ready to go back out and go 150% the very next day. But again, it's that consistency. It's that every single day, that thirst to want to be great at something and to achieve the goal that you want to be. Because I think if you're watching this video, you're trying to be the best football player possible. You have a passion about football. You have a passion about sports. Then you better put your money where your mouth is and put in that work. And if you love the game so much, go out and show it, even when nobody's watching. So guys, if you guys found this video motivational or helpful, hit the like button so this reaches more athletes your age and your skill level or are on the same journey as you. Also subscribe so you guys can get that out in the field content that I provide. The speed and agility drills, the position specific drills, the ab workouts, everything is on my channel for you guys to go and check out and get better from. And if you guys have any suggestions on future content I should make sure you guys comment down below. But with that, I like to always mention the mantra and the motto of CAB training, which is based on what I basically talked about in this video, and that is the constant improvement that we're seeking, and that is let's get better today.